morning. I'm gonna start calling this Car Chronicles because every time I get in the car, either to or from work, I just have the urge to make a video. This video is talking about marriage. So I am 33 and I am twice married. I initially got married right after high school, not long after high school, and that didn't work out. I obtained 3 kids from that marriage, and then my husband and I now were dating 7 months before we got married. I knew he was the one. I dated enough to know exactly what I wanted. And when I actually met my husband, I had just told my mom 2 weeks prior. I said, you know what, I don't think I want to be in a relationship. Like, it's so peaceful with just me and my kids. Nobody's saying where you're going, when you're coming back, what do you got on, who's calling you. So I was and just enjoy being single. And so I had seen my husband, my now husband, on numerous occasions, and he would try to strike up a conversation. I was like, skirt, nope, don't want to talk. I didn't want to entertain anybody at all. So my mother had given my sister and I rings. And she was like, well, this is you guys' rings until you get married. So I was wearing that ring at the time, and my now husband was under the influence that I was married. Well, something happened with the ring. I think I lost it, or I took it off to take a shower, whatever, and I didn't put it back on. So when he started seeing me without the ring, he asked me, are you married? And I said, no. And he was like, do you have children? I said, yes, I have 3. And typically, when I was talking to guys, I would always make it known, like, I have 3 kids. That was one of the first things I said. So if you have a problem with it, exit left. But I never had anybody that had any issues with it. But then their next question would be like, oh, when can we hang out? When can we kick it? When can I see you again? Can I have your number? It was always something like that. The thing that stuck out with my husband is he approached it completely different. When he asked me how many children I had, and I told him 3, his next question was, what are their names and their birth dates? I was like, huh? Like, nobody ever approached me like that. So it stood out to me, and it made me pay attention a little bit. So he ended up leaving, and then he called back to my work phone, and he was like, I don't want you to think I'm crazy or anything. I just enjoyed talking to you tonight, so I just wanted to know, can we talk further? So I gave him my number, and we've been together ever since. As you guys know, if you watch any of my other videos, I do have 6 children. I have 3 from my first marriage, and I have 3 from my current husband. And I couldn't ask for a better father, biological father for my kids. He is just phenomenal. He treats all the kids like they're his. And like anytime anybody sees us together, like, they automatically assume that all 6 are his children. And so we'll laugh when they'll say that one of my children from my previous marriage looks like him. And we think it's funny because they don't know. But I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. So this is to anybody who's just feeling, who's not optimistic about the future, because at 21, I was a mother of 3. And it's just knowing how, you have to learn how, like, you can't be in your 30s saying that there's no good men out there. It's just you're not learning how to pick them. And my husband and I, when I asked him, I said, are you married? And he was like, no, I'm divorced. It's not for me. I was like, it's not for you. That's going to be the end of the conversation. Like, when I left my first marriage, I had no intention on getting married again. I said I don't want to get married ever again. And I went from that, saying that, to after 7 months marrying my husband now. And we've been married going on 8 years. So, but you can't predict things because you don't know what God has in store for you. When I wanted to leave my first husband, I didn't want to. I have 2 boys and a girl with my first husband. I was so paranoid about leaving and my kids not growing up with the father. But my aunt told me, rest in peace, Aunt Brenda. She told me, she said, just do the best you can do and let God worry about the rest. And so I did. I stepped out on faith. I left, and my kids have a better father than I believe their biological father would have been. Now, I don't want to seem like I'm bashing my ex-husband. He wasn't a bad husband. He wasn't a bad father. But he came back from the military with PTSD. And so things just went downhill from there. Just went downhill. He didn't want to get help. He didn't want to, he just wanted to be around me and the kids, just be stone cold crazy. So I eventually packed up and left. But I just want you just to stay optimistic. I see a lot of girls that are like, oh, I'm never married. And you see everybody else get married and you feel like you're missing something. It'll be your time. Just be patient. Don't settle. Because some of you guys don't even have kids. Like I didn't settle and I had 3 kids. Like I wasn't settling for anything less than what I knew I deserved. And here, 8 years later, still married, we're still doing good, taking care of the kids. We just work together and we're a team. So it takes work, it takes time, it takes patience. Because when I got divorced, the first time I was 22. And then I got remarried at 25. So it took 3 years of, I wouldn't even call it dating. I had one guy that I dated, and we were actually engaged and we were dating for a year within that 3-year time frame. But it took me 3 years after that. After 3 years, I was remarried. As a matter of fact, it was a little shy of 3 years from the time I got my divorce. But just stay optimistic, guys, and don't settle. That's my main thing, because I know after a while you may get tiresome and feel like I'm not going to find what I want. So I know I really don't want this, but let me put up with it just to have somebody there, and it's not worth it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being single. Like, I'll tell you guys, love my husband to death. If he just woke up today and say, this isn't working out for me, I'm not happy, whatever, I have no problems being single. None. I have no problem sleeping alone. I have no problem. It's a peace of mind. Being married to me it has its ups and its downs, and it's bittersweet. Because when you go through those times, like, I don't have patience for it, like the arguing and stuff. I'm just like, you know what, I'm out. I don't have the patience for it. And all the time when I do that, my husband's like, I'm not your boyfriend. I'm your husband. Like, we're gonna work through it. But just stay optimistic, and that's my main thing. Because I know now, like, I don't feel optimistic. Like, I know me and my husband didn't work out, like, 6 kids and that. Like, when I wanted to settle down and get another man, I would. Not a problem, But just continue working on you in the meantime. Work on yourself. Make yourself better. So when you do find that person, like, it's a good connection, because you can't go around with your shit all over the place and then want somebody with their shit together. Not gonna happen. You have to have something in plan for yourself, not just currently, but future-wise as well. Because everybody wants somebody who wants something out of life. I don't want somebody that don't want anything. But yeah, we have a big family. My husband, he had 4 children before we got together. His oldest will be 22 this year, and I'm 33. But my husband he's older. He's 40, and I'm 33. And the oldest from the bunch that we have is 21, and the youngest is 1. So between him and I, we have 10 children, and we do what we have to do. So yeah, but that's my main thing. Is just don't get deterred. I think it worked out for me really well, because I had a guy that I dated, and he was a really great guy, but it wasn't a good mix for my children. And I would notice that he would always specify, can me and you go? Can me and you? Can me and you? And I specifically felt like he was excluding my children. So I asked him one day, I was like, you know what? I said, I would spend more time with your dog. If you had a dog, then you try to spend with or make a connection with my children. So I said, you know what, this is not, working for me. So he said, well, when we get married, when we get married, then I'll treat them like they're mine. Like, fool, I'm not about to marry you to find out if you're going to treat my kids like somebody. Like, why would I set myself up for that? So I walked away. Had I not had any kids, him and I would probably still be together. We would probably be married and living happily ever after. He was a great guy, but it wasn't a good connection for my kids. So I had to be patient and wait on God to send somebody that was not only a good match for me, but my kids as well. Because that's very detrimental. I see too many situations to where women get wound up and they find these men that they feel like they're a good match for them and neglect their children, or it's not a good match for their children. I'm very vigilant when it comes to my children as well, especially because I had, just a daughter at the time, but you have to be vigilant with your sons as well. I went through a lot of issues growing up with people who my mom trusted, mainly family members that try to do inappropriate things. So, my husband and I, from the beginning, we discussed it, and he knows how strongly I feel about it, and we're on the same page when it comes to things like that. So he's like the only male I trust around my kids, to be honest. Like, even my brother-in-law, like, he's a sweet guy. Don't change my daughter. Like, I'm so funny about stuff like that, but I just thank God that he put somebody in my path, because I was just like, no, not hearing it, don't want to talk. And then, when he approached me different than any other male did, I was on board. But yeah, I just want to encourage you ladies, and not just get discouraged because you haven't found the right one right now. Like, it's a process. Be patient, wait it out, don't settle, but just be understanding, and open your mind to other things. And just because somebody doesn't do things the way you don't do it doesn't make it wrong. My husband and I were raised completely different. So a lot of things about him I didn't understand. Like, why is he like that? But the more I started being around his family, the more I started just paying attention to things, and everything made sense to me. And I was more understanding to what he does and why he is the way he is. And that's just a part of, loving somebody. Just taking that time and investing that time to get to know them, so you can understand them and y'all can be, on a mutual level. But I'm not going to hold too much of you guys' time, because I'm about to make Mama Donovers run. So I'm about to get ready to order in a minute. But anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. God bless.